Hello, good evening. My name is Obindako. I want to share with you mistakes and criticism. When you decide to go after your dreams and your goals, there will be mistakes, there will be criticism. Most people who are naturally very sensitive or oversensitive and who are a bit more negative are their number one critics. But if you want to pursue any goal, then you have to go beyond just seeing the negative, because the negative, the more you see them, the more you will never start anything. If you look at our environment and our country and the business setup, if you know, in some economies or in some countries, the setup is there. When just one idea, one product, you'll be able to go somewhere. Here, go from the registrar general to everybody. It appears the people who are to start business should be experienced before they go there. And yet we have a large percentage of people who would have to feed themselves. And one of their best ways is to start to sell something, start to push an idea. And most people will fall into the category of what we call entrepreneurship. You have to come to a state where you build your personal philosophy. You have to know the gift you have. You have to know the abilities you have. You have to be confident in yourself. You have to be confident in your difference, because those are the things that will get you over the mistakes and the criticism. Say, when we go to school, the school usually cages. For instance, if I go to school to do marketing, for 4 years, most people's life will be contained in that idea of marketing, that they will not even try anything beyond the marketing. Or if I went to school to become a lawyer, that most often, or most people will just look at law. But your life, your gift that God gave you, if you're lucky that you had a formal education in the gift, fantastic. But most people didn't even know themselves and the gift they had, and then the courses that they chose in school. So when you want to pursue your dream, just be ready to say that, listen, I'm gifted. I was not born just for nothing. You were needed here, that's where you're born. And if you're born in Africa, it means that something is here, that you were sent here. There is no mistake. Establish that fact. And I know that Africans, we have problem in terms of accepting the fact that there is nothing wrong with us. The black man is not case, no matter the problems that the black man faces or the challenges. The Africans or black people, our problem is productive knowledge. We have all kind of knowledge. We have a lot of traditional knowledge, cultural knowledge, a lot of political knowledge on sports. But in terms of knowledge that is productive, that is able to solve problems that we meet every day, you have to personally glean them from across board. So your mistakes, they will come, because nobody sat you down to teach you a lot as to what to do. And almost everybody is sensitive to the problems that you will meet. And so when you start, you have to really, really, really lift yourself above and never give up. You have to give yourself not less than maybe 8 years or 10 years before you become an expert in what you're doing. And entrepreneurship is it's not different from that. When you start, you just have to keep going. You start with selling something, selling a product, selling an idea, or making a product, or making an idea and making sure that there's a value for it. People are ready to pay for that. You learn those things. I did agric engineering. When I finished, I'm not sure there was any product that I could come up with, and there was not any process or idea that I had. I think the best shot was for me to just sell anything, not the engineering, because before you can really apply the engineering, somebody should have been teaching you how to develop a process or how to develop a product, and that was not part of the course content. And that is even engineering. How much more people who did just the art? So I think the best shot that you have is to start to sell an idea you have or a product you have, whether you made it or somebody made it, and keep going. And the mistakes, you just have to know how to handle them. Your mistakes will come usually from the financial sector, your finances, because most of us were never taught money. Your mother taught you a little knowledge, your father taught you a little knowledge about money, the whole community is teaching you a little about money. But business knowledge in terms of money is way different from the money that they told you to save to buy a car or to build a house. Because you are generating money to build an idea, and always, all the time, your budget will not be close to when you start. If you needed 2 cedi to start, when you start, you will see that you needed maybe 100 cedi. Okay, so your financial knowledge, you have to update it yourself, or you have to read books to improve those. You cannot take the one that is on the radio to build your business. No. And if you are going to build a genuine business, not the ones that they gave you the contract, they loop it up and you took money and say that you're building a business. Not that one. I'm talking of the one that you really have a passion for. You're building a product, you want to be clean, you want to be ethical. Those things, your financial knowledge cannot be the average one on the street. You have to build that knowledge, and you don't have to be an expert. There are books, and that's the advantage of just having the ability to read or to write. The other day I went to a technical school and I was talking to the students, and I told them that you are fortunate. You can make a table, you can cook, you can easily come up with a skill to sell something, a product, and that product to sell something. Majority of the guys on the other side from the university have no idea what product to produce. So you technical people, you have an advantage. The other thing is that you have to really know that this product must be sellable. How do you sell that? That is up to you. And in between you selling your product to having a model or business model that works, there will be a lot of opposition, which will come, inefficiencies, which will come through people who will say any word to you. Most people saying words to you, they are not even sure that the words that they are saying to you are words that will put you down. I had a friend or some close guy who told me that, having gone to all these colleges, what are you doing? I said, I'm starting business. But you are not using knowledge. I said, what do you think? If you start a business, what do you think? It's not the same school that I'm using. So you have to know. So your financial knowledge, you have to update it, because a lot of the mistakes will come from there. I made a lot of it because nobody taught me finance, and I really didn't work anywhere that they taught any finance. So I made a lot of mistakes, bad decisions, and I keep learning. Have I mastered it? I'm not sure. I keep learning and running in a learning or building something in an economy that the interest rate is that high, where people almost all the time don't pay you on time, where your employees will just find any way to steal or connive with the other person to cheat you. There is a lot of losses that you can experience. And when you, at the same time that you're experiencing these things, you may not be that skilled, so the problems can come like tsunami, and they take you off your feet. By the time you see that you have made a lot of mistakes, they are in debt, but it's part of your inexperience. It's part of the dust on you that you're cleaning, because you are like a goat in debt. That's entrepreneurship. You're like a goat in debt. The more you start to polish the goat, you see the beauty of it. So don't be put down if your finances don't go well. Nobody's finances go well anyway. But I'm sure that on your second business, you see that you see that you are becoming better. You also make mistakes in terms of the people that you Joshua. Sorry. There was an interruption. So beyond the financial mistakes that you make, you would also most likely be wrong in the kind of relationship you build when you start the business. maybe whether it's a partner or your initial workers that you start with. Nobody likes discomfort. So their depth or the understanding of how an idea is developed to becoming a business is, most people, it's weak. So when you start, and there are a lot of people think that once you start a business it means everything is very fantastic, everything is right. Not necessarily. And you, as the business leader or the promoter, you are learning, and these people are also learning with you. So they see all the inefficiencies with you. Some people will get tired that quickly, and sometimes you employ people based on their need or based on your emotions or based on family and based on all those. A lot of them will be wrong. But just as I said, between your dream and its realization, there will be mistakes, there will be criticism. Okay, so you have to know that if you make these mistakes, they are not just unique to you. They are not unique to you, especially if you are very young. They are not unique to you. You are just learning, and you don't have to beat yourself so much. Pick another one and keep learning. I'm sure by the time you're on your second, third, fourth month or year, you'll be better. Some of your contract or some of your products that you put out there, some may fail. Some may fail, and all these great business people, a lot of them have experienced the same thing. The only thing is that maybe if you're not close to them, you will not hear these things. And we quite often hear people giving a lot of examples which are not much applicable here. People give examples of the American top business innovators and business people. Listen, doing business in Ghana or trying to build an idea in Ghana and somewhere that they have been doing it for a while, they're world apart. Yeah, a lot of people expect you to just go and look for a job. That's it. They don't expect you to just stand to say that I want to build anything. I mean, finish school, go and look for a job. And I don't know who is creating those jobs in a way. If you don't succeed, nobody wants to be part of it, So, and if any friend introduces you or gives you a lead to anything, they want their cut. You get your friend introduces you to a business, the next minute is telling you, oh, so what is my percentage? All those you just have to know. The system can easily push you to be so to be unethical quickly. You have to know that those are all part of the process, and if you put a product there or you develop a service and it doesn't work, listen to the market, listen to the feedback and polish it, and those are the things that I think you should be looking at. And mistakes, don't worry about them, they will come. You try as much as possible to minimize them, but they will come. Criticism, they will come all the time, from yourself, from people who know you, from people who don't know you. Do you have to give up? No. Would you ever get used to them? You get used to the fact that criticism will always come. Can you not be worried about them? I'm not sure. Every now and then, whatever somebody says will a little bit get to you, but you just that's off, and then you keep going, and you will also have to learn the culture and the thinking of your employees. They are different kind of people. They don't want to be corrected. It's tough for them to follow instructions and procedures and formality. The family puts a lot of pressure on them. Yesterday we had one of our people, 21-year girl. The family is saying, don't work, we want you to come home. Even if you have money and you don't want her to work for money, she can become better. by just learning to work. So these are the things that you experience, and a lot of it you will say will be mistakes. And the employees' mistakes are really your mistakes, because they come in the form of bad revenue to your business, And you just have to understand that when you, I made mistakes in terms of the people that I started some things with, Their mind was on money, my mind was building something. And eventually, they want a car and a house. I wanted to prove that if business idea can work, and if this can be built into something else. So the reality is that a lot of people who are building business and who are passionate about it, they go through a lot of challenges, a lot. Anybody at all can come to your office and demand that they will close your office. AMA can come, GRA can come, fire service can even come, AMA, all of them. So should you be threatened by them? Should you? No, you just have to develop the thickness of skin and the scale to keep talking and negotiating. Bitter? No. Offended? No. This is our country. We have to just learn how to put up with it, because we need a lot of people like yourself who would dare to start something and stay with it for it to get to a stage that you'll be able to employ people. If you employ one person, I think you have done a fantastic job for the country. If you employ 2 people, you have done a fantastic job. The country may never thank you, don't worry about that. But you are helping somebody to find a livelihood, and that is so needed. So if you had 1,000 people and each one employing one person, that would be 2,000. That would be at least 1,000 jobs, plus yourself, which is 2. So no matter what little you think you're doing, you're creating a value, you're creating a change in a society, you're helping somebody to understand responsibility, and then you teach them to be honest with the work and to work extra hours, come in early, close late, be passionate about it. You cannot steal from something that you're helping to build, so you have to teach them. They may not know. You have to say that when you do this, I expect you to give me this kind of feedback. Continue. Don't give up on them. Never. Don't give up on them, because we all didn't know, and largely the culture is still in a traditional state. It's not in a productive state that much. We're still very, we like our funerals, we like our weddings, we like our churches. Work is somewhere. Work is just go and do something, get some money. But it's not like we have to work to produce a lot, so that the economy can grow. And so whoever you are, whatever that you are doing at anywhere, don't be in a haste to be understood by the immediate relations. Don't worry. If they don't understand you, it doesn't matter. Keep at it. Just as the other guy who is working in a bank is very confident and happy and bold to introduce and show you his card, you as a business person who has started, even if you don't have a sale or revenue, be proud of what you have sat down to plan and doing, and be proud to say that I'm doing this, I'm a business person, I'm doing this, I'm an entrepreneur, I'm working on this, and this is my vision for it. And once you make a sale, be very proud, keep doing and put your time in it. It's never going to work if you just do it anyhow. Put your time to it. Treat the people who come along around you with respect, with integrity. Learn those things. The cutting corners will work for a while. At a time, they will stop. And when every problem comes, stay at it, because business is about solving problems. If you don't like solving problems, why are you in the business? And the money, it will only come through the connections that you have in terms of the negotiations that you're doing on your business, the selling, the contracts that you're getting. And if they introduce you to, they surely this in as much as you can, stay out. Stay out. Stay out. Be credible, because those things are the reasons why we are still not developing, because once you start to cut a lot of corners, you sacrifice the skill and the person that you have to become to build that thing that you say you're building. So once you decide to cut corners, lie, you're shortchanging yourself. You're lying to yourself. So don't buy those things. Stay with the process. because everything has a process. Everything. There's a process to refine the gold. There's a process to produce water. There's a process to get yogurt in a final state. There's a process. Don't compromise the process thinking that you get the product. It doesn't work, And all of us, we may have started that way, but along the line, you get to know that, listen, this is something that I'm committing my life to do. And if I'm committing my life to do this thing, then I might as well do it well. And do it with dignity, do it with credibility, do it with honesty, do it treating your employees nicely. Well, treat them as human beings, trust them. They may fail, it doesn't matter, trust them, keep talking to them, because your ability to learn how to lead people will decide the sustainability of that idea or that business that you're building. You cannot do everything by yourself, forget it. So one boy comes around, don't let him feel like he doesn't matter and he doesn't know anything and you don't need him. No, you need people, and everybody has a gift. Everybody has something that they bring on board. So long as they want to learn and they want to be part of what you're doing, why don't open up to them? Some of them will cheat, do the wrong things, yes, but another one will come who may be a good person. So learn these things, learn. And I am learning this all the time. Do I have to get local content in terms of these things? No, I know I don't. So most often I go to YouTube and learn a lot of those. I study, buy books, a lot of free books on the internet, buy and read them. If you're doing business and you think that your degree or your college education is enough, you're lying. They are word apart. It's your self-development all the time that will raise you to a point where the mistakes that you made will not matter, because you can make 1,000 mistakes. Just one shot will clear everything, one victory, and that's what most people don't know. And all the mistakes are just that because you are pushing, you're going forward. The other guy who's never made any mistake because he never tried anything. That's why he's never made any mistake. But if it's your first one, no, you would. So stay with the process. And entrepreneurship is really at variance with all that you know. And it's not really something that somebody. It's like driving. They can teach you, but when you hit the road, nobody can drive for you. You have to drive yourself. You have to have the courage to drive. You have to have the courage to keep pushing. And when you hit the car in front of you, do you kill yourself? No. You get out of the car, you patch with whoever you hit, and then you get to there. Would there be any financial cost? Yes. But that's it. Once you're not dead, that's how people realize their dreams. Everywhere you go, that's where people realize their dreams. So you set something for yourself and you keep pushing. And this idea that you pray everything into results, it's not true. A lot of it you have to do. Keep pushing. Stay above the noise, because the source of the knowledge that you get is going to affect the results that you're getting. So if you listen to you're not a politician, so why are you listening to political talks all the time? The politicians should tell you how to win votes. That's it. I don't want to listen to politicians on how to make money, no, or how to build a business, unless he has done it before. But even that, if he's in the political office, I expect him to just talk about what he's doing in the office. And there are a lot of people trying to tell you how to build a business, but I don't know if they have done it or they have not done it. And if they have done it, did they pick it from the level that you pick it? Because a lot of us don't have any skill, any network, any money, no job. Your best shot is start to sell something. Do you need money to start? Not sure. You need Vim. And you have to just overlook a lot of what people will say. It gets to a point you become better. You get to understand what you're doing and how. So it gets to a point the mistakes won't matter. The criticism don't matter. They will be there. They will constantly be coming, but you will see that you have developed that thickness of skin. And because people are that much sensitive in our country, courage, and how to get to a state that opinion doesn't get to you. We want to make everybody very happy, and that away is also they play in how big we see mistakes, because you want people to think of you as very nice guy, cool guy, very intelligent. When you become an entrepreneur, I'm not sure you're intelligent anyway. Because if you're intelligent, why are you putting yourself to doing this? I think. Forget about intelligence. You want to prove that your business idea works, that your product can solve problems for society, you can bring value. So forget about you being seen as right and wise and all those. If the people see, fine. If they don't, it doesn't make anything. When you start to make revenue from your business, and when your business starts to grow, you will see that maybe you're not that an idiot, just like you didn't know what you were doing in the beginning. And then it gets to a point you will know. And hopefully when you start your second business, you will see that you are starting on a very good note. What we need in our economy is people who should be creating jobs and daring to risk and start something and try. Even if they fail, they have tried. You don't want to listen to people who are talking, write proposal and then they put it. No, just start something. Start selling something. You can start selling anything. Whether it's a finished product or unfinished product, you can have to add something to it. Whether it's a great product, anything. Once you start to sell, you get some sense. Whether it's retail or direct, it's up to you. And then you can build yourself. So forget about the mistakes. Forget about the criticism. They will come. They will continue to come. In an economy like ours, we are still trying to shape a lot of things. So they will come. They will come. So build yourself and continue to build. People will leave you. Doesn't matter. People leave anyway. So build yourself. That's what I would say. And polish your selling abilities, your negotiations abilities, your talking. Are you able to present yourself? And the first one, really don't worry. If you have never done it, that's the whole import of what I'm saying. The first one, don't worry so much. Just start something. Start selling. Some people will ask you, I don't have money. How do I start? We didn't have money, and I'm not sure if we still have, but keep doing, keep doing, because the people who are doing it, sometimes I don't want to listen to people who have done businesses and when they had worked somewhere, they accumulated a lot of money and they started a business, or his brother helped him to start a business. Those people I don't really listen to, because that was not the category I was in. The category I was in was I didn't know anything. I just had some basic education. That's it. And I think that a lot of people are like that. So when you come and you speak all the big English and your business plan and your cash flow and all those, a lot of us will not understand those until we start. Payee and all those big terms and SNET, and we will not. And if you want to go and learn those things before you start, we'll never start. You never start. So this is how I think it is done. So believe in yourself. Believe that your life matter. You were created for a reason, and your mistakes cannot eat you. The criticism are part of the system that we live in. Human beings will talk, so don't worry about those. Believe that if you're an African, there's a lot you need to do for your continent. Believe that. Those believe, and you're not cursed. You are not cursed because you are black or because you have problems. Establish that nobody is better than you, and maybe you're also not better than anybody just because of how they look. Establish those. So when people come from abroad, they want to stay in Ghana and they make a lot of complaints. They want to start a business and somebody cheated them. What do you expect? They will cheat you because you didn't know. They will keep cheating you until you learn. That's how it is. Because and when you come, don't give up because they are cheating you. No. You have to fight. It gets to a point you become stabilized. Because wherever you were not probably doing business, and if you were doing business, you were doing them in a different environment. You come here, boga waba udiskaba, they will help you to waste the money, So don't worry. If they're able to cheat you, it means that you didn't know, and it's a sign that you have to learn more to overcome that. So don't worry about those relationships. Yes, as you grow, you will understand who to team up with to set up a business. So that's it. And when you get new projects or new product, you know what works and what doesn't work. You also develop your skill in terms of your employee pick, and then your finances. You'll be able to also develop your finances well and keep going. So I share with you that mistakes, yes, they will come. Criticism, yes, they will come. But you can lift yourself above those if you keep developing your knowledge in some of the areas that I talked about, and you keep going, and you keep going. That's how the reality is. And wherever you are, you can do something with your life. Don't sit in the room and your mother is coming to you question, are you going to go for a job, and you have gone 1,000 times and nobody is calling you, and you become very sad and wish that you were never even born here. No, what you need is a different knowledge. You are not a mistake, What you need is a different approach. That's all. So don't let life frustrate you because you have problems. Everybody has one or two problems. Even those with a lot of money, they have problems. So your ability to stay beyond what these things are called, Don't worry about the problems, they will come. Even if you have 100 million Ghana cedis, you will still have something to deal with every day. So your ability to stay above those, stay above the opinion of people, stay above all those. Don't let your school hinder you. People go to college and because of that they think that unemployed graduate. No. If your grandfather is a cocoa farmer, what is wrong if you have to go and become a cocoa farmer as well? What is wrong with that? After all, you can get better information to help the farming. If your father is a carpenter and you have finished college, what is wrong with that? If you know something about carpentry and you start to apply your knowledge in building that. If your mother is selling kinky, how can you say that I've gone to school so I can't sell kinky? And you have been in the house for 5 years. Why? 5 years? If you finished school and you were 20, 5 years, 25 years, that's a lot of time. So there are a lot of opportunities around everybody. The problem is how you're thinking about what you call opportunity and what you call education that you so think you have. And so when you see your brother or your friend who is a political appointee, then you feel like you're a disappointment. No. You are not. Just shift the thinking around what you have and opportunities around you, and you see that you are far more blessed than you think you have been. You just have to have the courage to take the first step and never be afraid of whatever comes, and keep going, and continue to update yourself, continue to become relevant, continue to read, continue to improve your knowledge, and see how you spend your time. And by the time you are in it for 3-4 years, you look back and you see that you have made meaning out of your life. The other time they were saying that 10% of graduates get job just about the time that they finish school. So the 90%, what is going to happen? So you just have to just commit to say that I want to do something with my life. And entrepreneurship is always open to anybody, but it's best when you start early. It's the best one, because then your mistakes, you can still start early, and by the time you're 30, you see that you look back and you started 10 years ago. You're still very young. But if you start 70 and the mistakes are many, by the time that you start to enjoy, you're about to go. So why waste it? Why sit down and wait and cry? Doesn't matter. You can start a cocoa farm, you can start a plantain farm, cassava, with yourself. You have been to college. The problem is a lot of the college, by the time you finish, they have killed your brain. And that's the problem. So you have to take a lot of those, things from your mind and put the one that works. Other than that, you feel sorry for yourself all the time. I don't think that you're a mistake. I don't think that there's nothing that you cannot do. I think that you just need fresh knowledge and ability to keep going and understand environment and keep learning. and keep learning and you see that whatever you do, at least you'll be able to help just one soul, and that will help our country, that will help our continent, because you are the ones to build this continent, and a lot of it falls in people who are creating solutions, not those who are just talking and criticizing. So thank you very much for listening.